What you're looking at right now is not a volcanic eruption. It's not CGI. This is 50 tons of solid steel glowing at over 1,200 degrees Celsius. And it's about to be beaten, squeezed, rolled, and machined into one of the most critical pieces of equipment in the entire global oil industry. A European client just placed an order for 19 of these. Not one. 19. And this factory in China got the job done. Stick around, because what I'm about to show you is the kind of manufacturing that most engineers only read about in textbooks. It starts with a message from a client in Europe. They need 19 large-diameter industrial pressure vessel shells, what the Chinese workers at this factory affectionately call Lian Dan Lu, literally alchemy furnaces. But there's no magic here, just extreme heat, extreme pressure, and extreme precision. These are the cylindrical reactor shells used in oil refining operations. You know, the kind of equipment that sits inside a massive refinery and helps turn crude oil into the fuel in your car, the plastic in your phone, the packaging around your food. 19 of them, ordered at once. And this factory said, yeah, we can do that. Before any of this becomes a vessel, it starts as a raw steel ingot. A massive, ugly, solid cylinder of metal that looks completely unremarkable. Then it goes into the furnace. When it comes back out, it's glowing orange-white, sitting somewhere around 1,200 degrees Celsius. At that temperature, steel behaves almost like thick clay. It doesn't flow, but it yields. And that's exactly what the forge press takes advantage of. The hydraulic press, we're talking thousands of tons of force, comes down on this billet and squeezes it. You can literally watch the metal's grain structure being refined in real time. The surface cracks and flakes away like the skin of something being reborn. This step is called open die forging, and it's not just about shaping the metal, it's about improving it. The compression closes internal voids, refines the crystalline grain, and increases the steel's mechanical strength from the inside out. That glowing chunk of metal you see overflowing the press platform. That's not a mistake. That's a sign that this billet is massive, big enough to become one ring section of a pressure vessel that will hold volatile petrochemical compounds at extreme operating pressure. No room for error here. After rough forging, the billet gets pierced. A mandrel punches through the center, and now you've got a thick, glowing donut of steel. This goes to the ring rolling mill. Please watch this carefully, because this is one of the most satisfying processes in all of heavy manufacturing. The ring sits between two rollers, one on the outside, one through the center. And as those rollers squeeze and rotate, the ring's diameter grows. The wall gets thinner, the ring gets larger, and the whole time it's still glowing, still hot enough to reshape itself under mechanical force. There's something almost hypnotic about watching a 10-ton steel ring slowly expanding like a crown being shaped for a giant. But here's what most people don't realize. The ring rolling process is extraordinarily precise. The rollers aren't just making it bigger, they're maintaining flatness, controlling wall thickness, and achieving roundness tolerances that will later need to match up perfectly with the vessel heads, the flanges, the nozzle connections. Because of pressure vessel manufacturing, a gap of a few millimeters in the wrong place isn't a cosmetic problem. It's a catastrophic failure waiting to happen. Now, the individual ring sections need to form a single continuous shell. Enter the welders. These aren't guys doing weekend metalwork in a garage. Industrial pressure vessel welding is a certified, rigorously tested discipline. Every weld pass on a vessel like this must comply with ASME, PED, or equivalent international pressure equipment standards. Because this thing is going to a European client, that means weld qualification tests. That means non-destructive examination, ultrasonic testing, radiographic testing, magnetic particle inspection. That means post-weld heat treatment to relieve residual stress in the steel. Once the welding is complete and the post-weld heat treatment cycles are done, it's time to machine. These vessels go onto enormous CNC lathes, machines that are themselves the size of a small house. The cutting tool makes contact with the steel surface, and chips fly as the vessel rotates slowly, being turned to its final dimensional tolerance. We're talking tolerances of fractions of a millimeter on components that weigh dozens of tons. The flange faces need to be flat enough to create a reliable pressure seal. The nozzle bores need to be round and positioned precisely. Please ensure the overall length of the shell matches the engineering drawings that the European process engineer signed off on months ago. And finally, surface preparation. Sandblasting to clean scale and oxidation. Coating application for corrosion protection. Once these vessels are installed in a refinery, you're not going to take them out for touch-ups. They have to be right the first time, and they have to stay right for decades. And then, 19 vessels later, this happens. A convoy of heavy transport trucks rolls out of the factory gates, each one carrying a finished pressure vessel shell on an oversized flatbed. These things are too wide for a normal lane. They'll travel with escort vehicles, with route permits, navigating underpasses and bridges that have been pre-surveyed to ensure clearance. From a Chinese factory floor to a European refinery. What started as a block of raw steel will eventually be bolted into a process line, insulated, piped up, and put into service, quietly doing its job at high pressure, high temperature, around the clock for the next 20 or 30 years. Nobody at the refinery will see the glow of the ring rolling mill. Nobody will feel the heat coming off that billet. Nobody will watch the arc of the welder's torch, but it's all in there. Every hour of skilled labor, every engineering decision, every quality check. That's what modern heavy manufacturing actually looks like. Not robots, not automation lines, people. Making things that the world runs on. If you've never thought about where the equipment inside an oil refinery actually comes from, now you know. There are factories like this one operating quietly across China, Germany, South Korea, and beyond. Forging, rolling, welding, and machining the backbone of global infrastructure. I find this stuff endlessly fascinating, and if you do too, hit subscribe. I cover heavy industry, large-scale manufacturing, and engineering processes that most people never get to see up close. Drop a comment below. I want to know, what's the most impressive piece of industrial manufacturing you've ever seen in person? And if you want to go deeper on pressure vessel engineering, how they're designed, what the failure modes are, and why the standards are so strict, I've got a video linked right here. I'll see you in the next one.